This is INCRadio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesianicristo.
And welcome, everyone, and welcome to another episode of INC Radio Florida. I'm one of your hosts here, Brother Robert Topalis, coming to you from today, I can actually say sunny South Florida. I'm going to be discussing a lot of really fun activities with our panel today, along with our host, Sister Audrey. But before we jump right into the topic about these upcoming exciting activities, I'd like to toss it over to Sister Audrey for our international greetings to our international audience. Good morning, Sister Audrey.
Hello, good morning, everyone, or good evening, wherever you're coming in from. We're so glad to have you all at INC Radio Florida. And of course, kamusta, ciao, buonasera, wherever you're coming from. We would love to connect with you. So please drop it down in the comments below. Let us know where you're from. And if you have any shout outs, because we are an international show, feel free to drop them down in the comments below as well. And we'll do our best to get to them at the end of the show, because we've got a very interesting topic today, and I'm going to turn it over to you, Brother Robert, over there.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Sister Audrey. And, we all obviously have been living in front of screens for a very long time, especially because technology has become so prolific in our daily lives. And today we're going to be talking about something that's actually a step past the screens. And if you've seen the promo, we were talking about having the ability for us to be able to share and bond together outside of the screens that we are so often found in front of our faces. And today's topic, we're going to be talking about some specific activities, especially here in the District of Florida, through the approval of our church administration, our beloved church administration. We're able to hold these activities as in-person, what we call real-world activities, that are really designed to help bring together brethren in our district who all have similar interests, in particular to two very unique hobbies. I would almost say unique, but they're not really as unique as you would think, which we're going to find out here a little later. But these hobbies are specifically trading cards, which are a huge deal. They become viral. And also RC racing or RC being radio-controlled car racing, which here in Florida is a lot safer than trying to get on the I-4 freeway to Orlando. So I wanted to introduce our panel that we have today, who are going to be helping to kind of guide us along this journey, because we have guests who are joining us who are both organizers and also an excited participant in one of those activities. So Kuyatek, if you could put us in thumbnail mode, please, I would appreciate that. Well, and as we're doing that, I'm going to have each of them introduce themselves. I'm going to start with Brother Max there in Cocoa Beach. Introduce yourself and where you're coming in from, Brother Max, which actually I just did for you. So.
Thank you, Brother Robert. I'm Brother Max Bernal. I'm from the local congregation of Cocoa Beach.
All right. Awesome. Thank you. And you are going to be involved in which activity, brother?
I will be involved in organizing the trading card game convention.
Awesome. Okay. And next, can we hear from Brother Ivan, please?
Hello, good day, good evening, or good morning to everyone. My name is Brother Ivan, and I'm here from Jacksonville, Florida. And it's great to see everyone here today.
Awesome. Can't wait to hear about your exploits in the trading card game hobby world. So we're looking forward to that. And of course, welcome back again to the show, our District Kadiwa President, Sister Cass. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Hello. I'm Sister Cass from the local congregation of Tampa, Florida. And I am involved in planning, preparing, and executing these activities with my fellow co-officers.
That's awesome. And these are some unique activities. I think these are, if I'm not mistaken, the first time that we've done both of these activities, Sister Cassandra, right?
Yes, and from what I also hear, it may be the first time the East Coast is even having these activities. So that's exciting, but also a lot of pressure.
Yeah, there's no pressure when you're the first one, right? Because So in it's unique because we have a lot of bonding activities which usually revolve around like sports activities. We've had card games and table games, board games, I think is what we refer to it as normal non-athletic type of gatherings that we've had in the past. But these two activities in particular, the trading card game convention that they're hosting, and both of these, by the way, are going to be taking place next Saturday here in the District of Florida, in fact, in East Jacksonville. And both of these activities are going to be held simultaneously. So this way, we're opening this up to have interests in either gathered together. So this way, everyone can come there. And who knows, maybe if you are into RC car competitions and RC race car building, but then you walk over to the trading card convention, that might spark an interest for you. And before we get deeper into the details about these, that specific thing about interests, I wanted to throw a question over to Brother Ivan. So, Brother Ivan, up there in Jacksonville, you are what we'll call an OG or original card collector. Could you tell us which cards it is that you are a collector of?
Oh, okay. I'm actually had collected Yu-Gi-Oh, also Pokemon, and I started getting back into Magic the Gathering. But I also have been hearing other new games out there called a Gundam trading card, and I'm actually pretty excited. And hopefully, I'll be able to see other people there in the event to be able to share that with those different games.
So when cards now, like you just mentioned, the Gundam trading card, which is a relatively new, I guess, in this hobby of trading card collecting, what is it about specifically um, trading cards? What is the draw for you, or do you think for people who are really into it? What is the attraction to the cards?
Well, the main thing in regards to the cards is that there are so many ways to reconnect different types of shows, different types of genres of things, and pretty much putting it into like a format of where you can actually just just enjoy it, or even to trade it with one another. Like once you open it up from a pack, you're able to be like, oh, I got this, and you would like to actually share it with other people and do all of that sorts of stuff.
So when organizing, so obviously collecting them, looking at them, I've even heard people say that, especially if you watch the shows, for example, because it seems like a lot of these cards are related to a cartoon, right? A program of some sort that maybe you watched as a child growing up, and a lot of these characters are now represented in these cards. When doing that, I've also heard people say that's because the cards tell a story. A lot of them can tell a story based on what you know about that character. Everybody has their favorite character, right? I think that's their, like, for you as a fan, what was your, like, in Pokemon, what would be your character that you always look forward to?
In terms of characters for Pokemon, I'm a really avid fan of Pikachu, and of course other people are as well. But actually, I wanted to divert it to Magic the Gathering because recently they actually did a collaboration with Final Fantasy, and that was my game that I've been playing like throughout my life, as well as my wife. Like if she was able to join us, she would be the one that would be more like able to express like how important or how fun it is that Final Fantasy and Magic the Gathering were they've
Have come together.
collaborated together, and it's just fun to actually see, of course, those stories, those ways that they actually put the mechanisms or the mechanics of the specific cards in the type of game that it's going to be in Magic the Gathering. So it's pretty
Awesome.
cool. Yeah.
Oh wow! It's well, and so we were talking earlier before the show with Sister Cassandra, who also I just discovered earlier today is also a collector. So you learn something new about your fellow brethren and fellow officers every day. So with you, Sister Cass, when you were growing up, you were a Pokemon card collector. What was the go-to for you? Like that was I will happily trade 15 cards for this one.
Oh gosh, I got a different question from Brother Ivan. Because when I heard that question, I was like, which Pokemon would you want to be? And I'm like, I want to be Magikarp, where there's no expectation about you whatsoever. Because right
There's
now
just a
that's
lot of you. Yeah.
but as far as Pokemon cards, I would probably say Charizard holographic specifically was like the card.
That was your thing.
You had to have it.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Brother Max, I know you've got a dual role here because you are a trading card fan, but also helping to organize the activity. Let's start off with the same question. So for you, which card game is really your kind of go-to, and what character, in that specific game would be considered your favorite?
So, oh, thank you, brother. But when I was younger, I was more into Yu-Gi-Oh because I used to watch the show, and then one
Mhm.
of my friends had given me their collection of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. But recently, I think for about a year now, I've gone more into Pokemon, and that's been my main thing. I haven't been as active, but I do really enjoy collecting it when I can. My favorite card right now, or my favorite character, is Snorlax.
Oh, Snorlax? Is that because all he does is sleep?
Mostly
He
because he's
sleeps
big
in.
and round.
He's big and round and he sleeps in. So in putting together the activity, this trading card game convention, because the trading card game conventions are relatively commonplace in this hobby, right? All over the country, people are holding these conventions. This is the first time that here in the District of Florida's members of the church were actually sort of helping to bring together a lot of the folks who are very much interested in this activity, other fans. What really can they expect in coming to Jacksonville next Saturday? What's kind of the rundown for how things are going to go for those that might be on the fence about going?
Thank you. Um, for the trading card convention, there's two different aspects to the activity. We have, as it says on the graphic, we have the tournament and we have the exhibit. So for the tournament, mostly for those who have been seasoned in the game and collect cards for the sake of playing them, they'll get the opportunity to play or compete with their fellow brethren. But with the exhibit, since we know that there are many brethren and many people that really enjoy collecting cards, they get the opportunity to show off their collection because we know that a lot of people like to put their cards in binders. They can bring that to the activity and then show it to their fellow brethren. And for those who are new, if they've been wanting to get into any of these recent card games, they could look at the brethren playing the game and be like, oh, I want to get into this card game and play it like this. Or if they see people's cards in the exhibit, they're like, oh, what's that pretty card? Can I get one of these? Where can I get these? Things like that.
So is it going to be open to a variety of different levels? Like, let's say I show up there and I've never played any of these games before. Is it something that there'll be a space for me to be able to maybe learn? Is there going to be like a tutorial so that way people who are first timers might be able to understand kind of the rules of the game and how it's played? So this way, hopefully, it kind of gets them really into it as well with the other enthusiasts.
I believe there's a section where we'll discuss how to play each game for those who are new to each of the trading games because we know that um, those games are a bit complicated. So it would be nice to have an explanation first before you get into it.
And in the game itself, different games, I'd imagine, like with Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic the Gathering, and Pokemon, the objectives of the games are different, so the rules are going to be slightly different. I know that a lot of in Pokemon, for example, it was always just based on the different skill levels of that particular character, right? And you're quote battling against the others. Is there sort of this commonality amongst all three games where it's whatever's on the card in the value or the strength or the power? Again, I'm sort of naive when it comes to this, so I'm the one who probably needs the education. But do all three of the games basically have the same premise where you're battling against somebody else, and based on the elements of that card determining whether or not you win or lose? Or
I would say you're correct on that. They are very similar in the way that you play them. There are some variations to each of the games. Like for example, Magic the Gathering does have one form of play where you just play against, I think, one card, and then everyone goes against that specific card. But for the premise, usually it's like defeating the other cards or getting people below a certain amount of like health points, depending on which game you're playing.
Yep. And
perfect.
there's also other methods too of winning or to have those specific winning conditions. Pretty much with all three of the card games that's going to be done, you can even deck out a specific opponent, which means pretty much taking all of their cards out of their library or their deck, and they're not able to like draw any more additional cards from that point. And of course, then what was Max was Brother Max was mentioning about even life points with Pokemon. It's dealing with six prizes. With Magic, it's around 20 if you're doing the standard, or it's 40 if you're going to be doing Commander, which is a completely different method or format. And then Yu-Gi-Oh, it's around, I believe, 8,000 life points. Is that correct?
I would say around 4,000 to 8,000.
Oh, 4,000, 8,000. Yeah, it's somewhere that high.
So how long do games typically take? Like if I was going up there, like how much what kind of an investment in time would the folks be making when they go there?
In terms of a match, it would take maybe for it all depends on how fast the specific deck that you're going to be playing as, or with what the opponent is going to be bringing. It's either it's going to be a long and drawn out type of match, or it's going to be 3 turns you're dead, or you lose.
So they can go pretty quick. Just
Yes,
it's kind of a draw of the cards, no pun intended, right? So
yes, yes, brother.
all right. So Sister Cass, having collected Pokemon cards previously, were you ever into what's the is it Pokemon Go, where you actually go out and collect them on like an app?
Yes. So when it actually launched the app, I was in the Philippines and I'm getting all these notifications from everyone in America that this activity or this game is live. This is where you can find certain Pokemon. Go to the cemetery if you want to find ghosts. So I'm walking all around the Philippines and I'm like, this game is horrible. Like, where's a Pokemon? This and that. I didn't realize until I came back to America that it did not launch in the Philippines. So it wasn't Pokemon weren't available, but I was like disappointed. But then when I came back, I had jet lag. So now is the time I'm driving around to different places. I'm in the cemetery at night collecting ghost Pokemon. So yes, I very much was. And then there's certain Pokemon that are only available in certain places. So
Right,
I
right.
yeah, so and at the time I was traveling a lot throughout America too, so it was perfect.
So how do you guys feel that apps like that, when they decided to launch Pokemon Go, what was the impact of that to the actual hobby, the trading card hobby of Pokemon? Was it something that you guys think actually helped to promote it even more and get more folks that were into doing it, or do you think that kind of diluted or took away from the people who are the purists, the enthusiasts who are like just the real card? Like, is there like this thing amongst hobbyists where like, oh, if you're a Pokemon Go, you're not like a legit collector kind of a thing? Is there any of that going on?
Okay. So, in regards to Pokemon Go, it's just a completely different genre, but I believe that it did support the trading cards stuff. But a more better comparison that also seeing now, and I'm also a part of, is that there is Pokemon Live, or I forgot what it's called, but it's pretty much the slimmed down version of the Pokemon card game, but it's on your phone. And rather than having 6 prizes, it's down to 3, and it's quicker matches and quicker games from that point.
So it would be similar to the actual game trading experience, but it's
Yes.
now on your phone.
Yes.
So does that mean that you don't have to go out and buy the trading cards?
That's correct. And it's all going to be all digital. It's on your phone, and you have the ability to do trades now. It's been a while since I actually opened up Pokemon Live, and yeah, it's been a while.
Wow. So that looks like that would be a nice way to maybe get introduced to it without having to make that investment, because packs can be expensive. They actually, from what I've seen, can really dent one's pocketbook if you're not careful. But when you're looking at like the impact that things like that have, I would imagine that they just help to promote the characters, right? So people are getting more and more interested in the different characters, whether it's through the virtual way that they're doing it or through the actual card collection process. So then I guess going back to the activity itself, Brother Max, if what would you say if you were talking to people about the activity to really encourage them to want to come and check it out? What is it that you could expect? What could they expect by joining their fellow Kadiwas Binhis? And I'm sure there'll probably be quite a few booklets that are up there since Pokemon cards have been around for a while.
Thank you, brother. I think that they could expect to see a lot of new interest if they were already interested in it, or for those who didn't really understand the concept behind it. I feel like this activity gives them the opportunity to understand what their peers and maybe even their parents were into for trading cards.
Awesome. Yeah. So if baby Jamie starts trading cards, you could talk about how his grandfather used to do that back in the olden days, right, Sister Audrey? So
Mhm.
she
Yeah.
agrees. So yeah, and all of those like super expensive cards that just never were recovered. But so Sister Cass, in overall, because of this activity, and again here in Florida, one of the things that's unique is the fact that we are fairly spaced apart from each other, the congregations, right? I know that with our many of the congregations in other parts of the country and there in the Philippines, there's a much closer proximity. So the challenges in deciding where these types of activities are going to be held, how is it that the district CFO decides like when we're going to put this activity here versus doing it in Cocoa Beach versus doing it in the Tampa region? What's the process that you guys go to try to really maximize the participation?
Um, that's a good question. So there's different ways as how we come about choosing a location. One of them being, can the venue hold the activity? That's a big question that we always ask. What area would have the most interested or those who are highly going to be involved in participation? That's a big one for us as well as where have we not been in a while? And so, I mean, those are just three questions we ask, but there's a whole process. And so we really try to rotate, but primarily it's, can the venue hold the activity, or does it have a setup that is going to be able to have the activity there?
Great. And obviously this is going to be hosted by the East Jacksonville congregation, and they do have a fairly sizable area there. I think, Brother Ivan, you could probably tell us a little bit about the venue where these two activities are going to be held.
Oh, sure.
Since you're up there.
So pretty much it's going to be in the function hall area of East Jacksonville, and it's going to be on Sunday. And also there is an open air or open parking lot area where they can do the RC activity that's going to be there.
Fantastic, thank you. And now, actually, it's you just like read my mind. You had perfect segue because I wanted to give some time to Sister Cass to talk a little bit about the partner activity that's actually being held at the same time on the same day, and that's the RC car competition. Can you tell us a little bit about what's going to be happening there, Sister Cass?
Yes, well, thank you. So there are two different components to this one as well. So there will be an exhibit or showcase of your RC cars. It's For those who are collectors, we know that there are brethren who actually have pretty big collections. And like from what I heard, one of them big enough that if it hit your ankle's broken. Like
I'm
that's
going to
how
stay clear of that one.
so there are brethren who are interested in remote control cars. So we're bringing this activity around. So there's a showcase aspect, but then there's also two different types of racing that will take place. One of them is going to be a line racing or head to head. So whoever's the fastest, and then there will be a first, second, third place trophy for them. And then the second race is going to be a timed race. So who can finish the course the fastest? And then there will also be awards or trophies for that as well. And it, we encourage for all participation, right? Sometimes there are children who even have remote control cars. I know my nephews both have them. So there's different levels that you can also participate in. And if I can just point out that both activities are great opportunities for us to invite our friends who may not even be members to come join us. Both activities are hobbies of those who are not just INC members. So open invitation to bring a friend to East Jacksonville on that day and join us.
I think that's awesome. Thank you for that, Sister Cass, because it's true. This is not just a bonding opportunity for all those of us that are here in the Church of Christ here in the District of Florida, but at the same time, it's also a wonderful opportunity for us to introduce a lot of the activities that happen here in the Church of Christ to our friends, our neighbors, and folks who have yet to see what these activities are all about. And I think that that's the time really. It's a good opportunity because here they get to see not just the activities themselves, but more importantly, the fellowship and the brotherhood and the love of the members within the church. And just as a side note, Sister Cass, I'd like to throw out there a suggestion that since we're doing the RC car competition, maybe at some point, and Brother Ivan may be into this, we can have a drone racing competition as well, right? Everybody's got a drone, so we can do some drone racing there in the open fields. Maybe they're in Orlando. I don't know, but that's just something we like to throw out there. But one of the, I think the biggest draws again to these types of activities, as we mentioned before, is the fact that it allows our youth, our brethren, to really get out from behind the screens that they've become so adept to being stuck behind and actually having real time interaction or real world interaction with their fellow brethren that are here, have fellowship, share a hobby, and possibly even introduce a hobby to some folks who never knew the wonderful world of RC car competitions or trading game. So if you are here in the District of Florida or planning to come and visit the District of Florida, we encourage you to please head up to East Jacksonville. They're on the East Coast, the Northeast coast of the state, and check out both of these activities, which will be taking place on Saturday, August 10th at 5 p.m. at the East Jacksonville place of worship. But before we go, I was going to actually ask Sister Audrey if we have some shout outs that are in the chat that we can read before we head out. Or if not, I can certainly do that. We've got, let's see here. Brother Adrian Abelgas joining us, of course, they're from Las Vegas, Nevada, always up early to come and join us and welcome everyone to Sister Melka Newcomb, who is the wife of our district supervising minister. Sister Melka is always there encouraging us. Brother Ben Luzon, who's joining us from Pensacola, Mario Oka, who's joining us from the Philippines. So up there very early in the district of Caloocan North, to Sister Lulu. Good morning to the brethren here, Sister Chelsea, and also Sister Cynthia Catley. And I also see here that we're joined this morning by Sister Sally Samorton, always there supporting our show. We're so grateful to you, and to Sister Shalimar Castulo, who is also welcoming us from the local of Jacksonville. But of course, most importantly, we want to give shout outs to our our executive minister, Brother Eduardo Vimanalo, our deputy executive minister, Brother Angelo Iranio Manalo, and of course, to Brother Wally Tarai, our station manager, and to Brother Manley Ndai, our executive producer, for helping us put together this program. And we want to thank our guests today, Sister Cass, our district cathedral president from there in Tampa, Brother Max, who's there in Cocoa Beach. I hope I got that right for you, Brother Max. And then also Brother Ivan, who is there also from the congregation of Jacksonville, Florida. He's going to be a local to these activities, and to Sister Audrey, my co-host, here in Tampa. But we encourage you to please stay tuned, because coming up next is INC Radio Washington, D.C., celebrating a special anniversary for 5 years of their satellite studio. So we'll see you next week here on INC Radio Florida. Have a great, great day.